Hey, I want to talk to you about a man named Demas. Demas is mentioned 3 times in the Bible. We don't know a whole lot about him, but out of the 2 of the 3 verses, he's mentioned that he's present with the Apostle Paul throughout his ministry. And but then we read something different and alarming in 2 Timothy 4:10. It says, "For Demas has deserted me," and this is Paul speaking, "because he loved this present world, and he has gone to Thessalonica." So Demas has deserted Paul to go to go into the city, right? To go away, to depart from the ministry, because he loved the world, right? He loved the things of the world. Therefore, he left the ministry, left Paul, and went to after those worldly pleasures. He departed Paul because he loved the things of this world. And it reminds me of a few verses that Jesus shares. And the first one is Mark chapter 8, verse 36. And it says, "What do you benefit if you gain the whole world but lose your own soul?" Yes, you might gain popularity, success. You might build a great business. You might have a lot of money, right? Like there's a lot of great things that you might be able to purchase, right? Or just enjoy. But at what benefit if you gain the whole world but lose your own soul? And for what we know about Demas in these 3 verses, right? He was doing good, and then he backslid, right? He went after loving the world. In Matthew chapter 6:24 is the other verse, and it says, "No one can serve 2 masters. Either you will hate the one and love the other, or you will be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money." Don't be like Demas and fall to the temporary pleasures of this world. In the end, it will leave you unsatisfied. And the only true fulfillment is living a life that is fully devoted to Jesus. Right? Everything else is temporary. Everything else is sinking sand. Everything else will leave you unsatisfied in the end. Maybe for a time it will satisfy you, but in the end, right, it will lead to unsatisfaction, right? It will leave you empty. And for what? Again, going back to that, you can benefit and gain the whole world but lose your own soul. What did you gain at that point? And the other thing is, not 1 foot in the world and 1 foot serving Jesus. This will lead you to fall away, just like Demas did, right? It's somebody that you need to be fully committed, right? To be all in, to put yourself around other believers to help keep you accountable. So when they see you start to drift with, keeping your eyes or looking at things of this world, the other believer could be like, "Hey, knock that off. Get your eyes fixed on Jesus and off of these temporary pleasures of this world." Don't be like Demas. Don't desert your faith. Out of love for this present world.